I'm completely thrown off now. I had this very short, very powerful speech I was going to make, and it was all going to be in German. No, it wasn't. But I'm completely thrown off now. That was very touching. I'm very humbled, and I want to thank everybody, and particularly Christian and all the management from Horizon. I only have a few things to say, but before I start, every once in a while you find yourself with an opportunity that you didn't expect to be in, and tonight is one of them on many, many different levels. But I just wanted to stop for a second, and some of you have heard me speak before. You know that I speak about my family a lot, and they're always in the front of my mind. I happen to work in an industry where my family can absorb the things that we do in television, and I'm very grateful for that. And because of that, I tend to tell a lot of stories about the family. But I wanted to take one moment to thank, actually, Alan. Because whether you agree with way things have happened or haven't happened, or things have developed within the entire experience within what Alan has been through and what his paper's been through over the course of the last year, the one thing that I think that every one of us that have children can say is our children will grow up in a better place because of it, and I just wanted to say thank you very much. I'm a nervous wreck. I didn't really know what to say tonight because for those my colleagues that are sitting here in front of me, they know, and I think probably everybody in this room knows, our company has a long history. It's actually 22 years old. It was originally Primera and has been through many iterations during those days, and it's only been in its sky life for the last 5 years, effectively. And I've been here 4 years. And as Christian alluded to, where's Christian? There you are. We've been trying to, I hate the phrase, but trying to turn around the business while moving it forward at the same time, and we're just not done yet. I'm not sure we ever will be done. Because every time you think you reach that stage where you're done, you realize that there is so much more to do and so much more that you want to do. Christian's right. There's 40 million households here in Germany, and there's only 3.5 million households that currently get Sky. We value every single one of them, but there's a lot more that we still want to get into. So there's part of me that feels we're just not done yet, and we won't be for a long time. But to go through what the company has gone through over the last 22 years takes a lot. There are almost 2,000 people who work at Sky, over half of which have been with us for close to 20 years. And they've been through all of the ups and downs and the ins and outs of the company and how the pay TV market has developed here in Germany. And they've never given up. And I think that says a lot. I know everybody who comes up and talks around these kind of awards will always talk about their team, but I can't tell you how important and how satisfying it is to be able to look at those people in the face and say, you stuck it out, you had great ideas, you're now able to do them, and it's now becoming something real and something positive and something big, and you should be incredibly proud. And the key to that is not just fortitude and resilience. It's an attitude. And the attitude is one that I personally think that I have as well, but I think that every person in the company has. And it's one of blind optimism. Again, in that very embarrassing video, and in Christian's introduction, he spoke a bit about, here we go, about my family, about my father. My father was the marketing director for a baseball team. That baseball team was known as the Philadelphia Phillies. The Philadelphia Phillies are the longest existing professional sports organization in the United States. I think that they were founded in 1883. I think that's right. So 130 years. My father worked for that team for 50 years. That team won the championship twice. You have to be an optimist to be able to stick around working for an organization for that long and waiting around for them to finally win. Those of you that are hardcore supporters of various different teams, some of you experienced a huge amount of wins, and some of you are still waiting for that one. But he grew up in that environment, and every day I saw him going to work, he was optimistic, he was positive, he was smiling. He knew the next day was going to be better. And I grew up in that environment. And I see it in my children as well. Just this past weekend, literally just this past weekend, simple little things. My oldest boy, who is only 5 foot, I'd like to say I'm 6'4", but I'm only 5'9". So my son is only 5'6". If any of you have ever seen American football players are, I don't know, 8'10", and they weigh 400 pounds. My 5'6" son, who weighs maybe 100 pounds, told me he wants to play American football. That's an optimist. It runs in the family. My middle daughter, Hannah, is 9 years old. And sometime around, we went skiing on Saturday, and sometime around Saturday night, around 8 o'clock at night, as she was going to bed, she came screaming to me and said, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy, did you see the rainbow?" I was like, "No, I'm sorry, I didn't see it today. It was cloudy. It's nasty weather." No, she means now. She said, "No, now, now." And she kept pointing out the window and telling me, insisting to me that it was a rainbow outside. It was pitch dark. It was 7 o'clock at night, but she saw a rainbow. She was an optimist. But much more importantly than any of those, my littlest girl, who's 6 years old and has a bit of a disability with her leg, on Saturday, for the first time without either of her parents anywhere near her, skied completely independently from the top to the bottom of a mountain. Now, by all rights, she should never have been able to even think that she could do that. But she did, because she's an optimist. And I'm an optimist, and everybody at Sky is an optimist. There's a very famous quote. Never say quotes, because you always get them wrong, particularly in front of a world-famous journalist, because it's an English quote, from Winston Churchill, talking about optimism. And he said, I'm going to cheat. There's no way I'm going to get this wrong in front of him. And he said, pessimists always see difficulty in the opportunity. But an optimist sees the opportunity in the difficulty. I would say that that's what we've experienced more than anything else in my time at Sky. I think we always try to see the opportunity, whether it was, as Christian was talking about, when we wanted to launch a sport news channel and couldn't find the space and couldn't find the money, so we took over our boardrooms. Or we found ourselves with the rights to the World Cup and launched Sky Go off of it. We always see a difficulty, and we try to find the opportunity off of it. And we have a lot more to do and a lot further to go. And there are a huge number of people to say thank you to, and I will finish this so we can all go off and have a beer. First of all, I want to thank you, Christian. Christian's absolutely right. He was, without a doubt, my fiercest competitor. Now a partner, by the way, at Microsoft, but my fiercest competitor during my time here. He cost me an absolute fortune. To the other big Christian in my life, who is somewhere in this room as well. I don't want any more friends named Christian, by the way. It's a very expensive habit. And he's become a very good friend, as have just about every person that I've worked with here in Germany. But I want to thank Christian for that. Thank you very much. I want to thank everybody from Horizon. I think it's an incredible recognition of all of the people at the company, and we all very much appreciate it, and the jury as well. There have been, some of you were in the room, there are people from channels and people from various different leagues and partners, including the DFL, who have believed in us when, quite frankly, they had every right not to believe in us a couple years ago. And we will for always be in debt and gratitude for your support. Almost the most important is all of our customers. 3.5 million households, about 6 million people who have stuck with us, believed in us, believed we would make the product better, and continue to believe that today, and it's because of them that we're growing. But the last group of people, again, it might be a bit of a cliche, but it couldn't be more true than anything. And somewhere in the room, if you could throw up the picture, it's not going to work. There it is.
Oh.
OK. So if any of you ever come to visit my office, there's a little meeting room just outside my office, and I have a glass wall. And on the wall of that meeting room across from me is this. And it was actually inspired by one of my colleagues who's here in the room today, Carsten Schmidt. And this is not all of our colleagues, because they do change, but that's most of our colleagues at Sky. And I get to look at them every day, literally every day, every minute. And it constantly reminds me why we're doing this, because they believe that they could deliver something that was unique for people and viewers in Germany and Austria. And we wanted to be able to, as the senior management, to be able to help them. So I want to thank all of them, particularly the representatives and the colleagues that are in the room here today. But I think probably more importantly, we all want to thank all of you. And I truly mean this. There is no way that Sky would be standing today as a company if it hadn't been for the people in the industry who gave us the opportunity once again to try to start over and try to create something new and special. And hopefully it will continue to grow, and hopefully all of you can be part of that as it grows going forward. Thank you very, very much.